Today we're going to take a deep dive into the Stratus Drift archery sight. If you haven't seen anything about this yet, this is our patent pending 2-pin slider sight. What makes this different than anything else that's on the market is our patent pending technology, what we call the drift technology. So when you dial to another range, these 2 pins are actually spreading apart from one another, accounting for arrow's trajectory, so that you always have a plus 10 yard pin every range you dial to. So when we dial to any range, you're going to notice that these 2 pins are spreading apart. So you start at the top of the rack at 20 and 30. You dial to 50, your second pin is 60. You dial to 83, your second pin is 93. Okay? So essentially, we have a lobed feature that is pushing this pin up and down in the exact calculation for arrow trajectories. Common question that should come to your mind instantly is, how is that going to work for this bow with a heavier arrow or this bow with a lighter arrow that's really fast? Well, our calculations have accounted for a range of 220 to 330 FPS. And essentially, you calibrate it to match wherever your trajectory lies within that range with this turret. So this one's labeled here. At a further range, like 70 yards, you're going to turn this turret, and that's going to calibrate the rate of drop of that second pin. Do that after micro adjusting the starting position of your second pin. You'll do both of those actions after configuring your sight tape. So, as you can see, we have a sight tape on here. You're going to find your 20-yard mark, 60-yard mark, just like any other sight tape. We will provide a sight tape sheet for you to use. We also recommend using Archer's Advantage or Precision Cut Archery to fine detail your sight tapes, especially for longer ranges. After you find those 2 ranges, you're going to dial back up to 20 yards. You're going to use your second pin and shoot 30 yards. Micro adjust that position here. Then dial to 60. Shoot 70 yards with that second pin. That process is going to calibrate the trajectory of that second pin. Now to break down into a lot of our other features. On that sight tape, you do receive a metal back plate. This is to give you a more durable sight tape, so you can wrap that sticker around it or tape around it. And then you have some adjustment here to make sure that it lines back up with your indicator. You can put the sight tape on either side, or you can maybe put a second sight tape for a different arrow setup, or eventually we will have an accessory of an extra pin that you can have as a little stack in the bottom, and maybe you want to have a separate indicator for that. Currently this setup is for a lower elevation and a higher elevation. To the pins, we have a .015 size pin, or 15 thou. They come with green on top, red as a second pin. Those are the only options for this pre-order batch. There's a retrostat. Future accessory as well will be a light that will replace the retrostat. Like we looked at earlier, micro adjust here for the second pin. We have a very large ergonomic wheel here It takes about 180 degrees of turn to go from the top to the bottom. So a very quick adjustment. We have a lever lock here that is very ergonomical. We also have our micro adjustments for windage and elevation. A lot of sites do not have our micro clicks on the elevation. To free the movement, we unlock these two screws for elevation. We have a toolless lockout for our windage. However, you can also crank that down with a tool. Our first, second, and third axis adjustments. So here we have our first axis adjustment. Our second axis adjustment is we have adjustment to align our pins so they are vertically aligned, and then degrees of rotation for the bubble to match your first axis so that everything is perfectly perpendicular. And then very standard third axis adjustment. Back to the bubble. The bubble is also reversible. So you can put that on the top or bottom, match to your level. It's going to come in a pick rail, bridge lock, and side mount. This is made from aerospace grade aluminum, some stainless steel parts that are all internal, and then our stainless steel hardware, some polymer on these scope covers, and accessory like this aperture, and the wheel, and then some Delrin pieces to allow for smooth gliding and adjustments. These are each prototypes. There's some things on this that are going to look a little bit different on our production model, as these have been prototyping constantly. So that's the Stratus Drift. Made in the USA. We're based out of here in Boise, Idaho. Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you have your doubts that this is going to work for your setup? Well, we'd love to prove you wrong. If you order one, check it out. Thanks for watching, and check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and our website, stratusarchery.com.